Hello and welcome to this morning's live webinar. I'm Michelle, a researcher, teacher and coach. I work at Consultancy in Sheffield in the UK, and I've worked in teaching of adults and in higher education for over 20 years.
Hello, my name's Val. I'm a community development tutor with extensive background working at grassroots level in and around Sheffield. I've been teaching for over 15 years and worked in a wide range of settings.
The project encourages different generations to work together using informal teaching. In life, we are all teachers, even though we don't always think of ourselves as teachers. We continue to develop skills throughout life, and research shows that younger people are so comfortable with digital technology, whilst older or mature adults can be afraid of it, including myself at times. So this project allows the younger generation to support the older generation with technology, and they're going to learn some tutoring and teaching skills. During this webinar, I'm going to give information about teaching, which will be useful during the Learning Together training. If you're new to this project, hopefully you'll take some useful information from this live streamed webinar. You will see the PowerPoint running and some frames may be frozen at times. I might also ask some questions, and this gives you time to reflect and make any notes you wish to make. So get ready with a pen and paper or your computer, mobile, iPad, whatever you prefer. So now I'm going to turn to Val, and I want to ask you for your views, Val. What do we need to consider most about learning a practical skill?
For me, when I teach, it is good to know the expectations of the learner. What am I trying to teach them? Is it a specific skill or is it knowledge? A practical skill does need some pre-planning, and knowing a little bit about your learner will always help. Remember that everyone learns at a different pace, and as a teacher, you need to break down the learning into smaller steps. Give the learner the time they need, and remember to be patient. Let me give you an example. When my son was in his teens, he helped me to learn how to add contacts to my new phone. I could have read the instructions, but he offered to help and went whiz, 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 and it was done. But it was so quick, I still had no idea how to do it. I have asked him to show me again, but this time to slow down, take me through it step by step. When learning, we need to understand the different steps and the relationship with the different stages. Often with technology, if you miss a step, it all goes wrong and you are left wondering what you did wrong. With technology, there are often many steps or operations that make up a series of actions. For people like me of a certain generation, it can seem too complicated and too technical. I'm glad to report that since the issue with my mobile phone, my own technology skills have improved immensely. Looking back, a lot of the support has come from the younger generation, whether it's been in the office where I work or the training that I've attended. For my generation, technology was not part of school learning the way that it is today. So for myself and many of my friends of the same age, technology with computers, phones, etc. has been like learning another language. Yet my young grandchildren go click, 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 and away they go. And technology seems to be so natural to younger people. When I think about my own experiences as a teacher, it is so important to have empathy, patience, and to recognise the needs of the learner and different skills level. As a learner, it has also been my experience that I have learned much more when the teacher has taken this sensitive approach. To be fair, my son was very good in the end. He did slow down and was able to recognise my needs and showed me step by step what I needed to learn. He showed me the menu and functions, for example, adding contacts, editing contacts, deleting contacts, saving contacts, how to add further information, or for example, how to add a photo to a contact. He also then took great pride in showing me other things on my new phone. The challenge for him was my lack of technology skills. He became the teacher. He was able to do the task himself without thinking, just click, 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 which didn't help me. I wanted to learn to do it for myself. So you must communicate your knowledge or lack of it to identify the starting point. This is important for both teacher and learner. Going back to the phone, I needed to be clear about both the functions of the phone and the process of adding a contact. I had to learn to follow all the stages in the process and then to understand saving, receiving, retrieving, etc.
That makes absolute sense. So what about tips for mastering a skill, Val?
Well, we have to remember that everyone is different. We all have working memory and different ways of learning. We all have different learning styles. As a teacher, I have to remember this. I am a more visual learner, but I may be teaching someone who is more of an audio learner. Our brains are like a computer where we can store temporary information. We can generally remember 3 to 4 things in a list, and like a computer, we chunk information into parcels. I may struggle to remember 9 steps of a process until, of course, it becomes automatic to me. Always have time for your learner. Observe how they process information. Some learners may take notes, some may need more practice, and some may just want to keep trying until they get it right. Also, someone with a learning difficulty may need more time, and a teacher needs to adapt the learning and the teaching to the needs of the learner. Always think of the different ways you give information and use a range of tried and tested teaching methods. If someone is a visual learner, you may use more pictures, charts, or diagrams. If someone is an audio learner, you may encourage them to watch an audio demonstration or talk through the instructions while they carry out the task. In addition, an audio learner may want to record you giving the instructions. With regards to giving instructions, always give them at the correct pace for the learner and give them time to practice and reflect. If I have to master a new skill, I repeat the steps, then repeat again, and then maybe again. This is to process the steps and save them to my memory. This helps me to do the task independently. So when I am teaching someone something new, I always think about the pace. I observe them and take cues from their body language and their facial expressions. I can usually tell if I need to slow down or speed up and adjust my teaching to suit their needs.
So did you add more contacts to your phone?
Yes, I did, Michelle. It's many years ago now. So my own technology skills have improved, I hope so, and I have changed my phone a few times since then. I never have a problem now adding contacts. It is usually the more advanced settings on the phone and apps and such that I need to ask for help with.
Is there anything else you'd advise that helps a learner in learning a skill?
Good teachers will always make their learner aware of anything that helps or supports them with learning. Or if, for example, they notice a learner doing something that hinders a task, they will flag it up. For example, if someone is learning something new on a mobile phone, but the phone is not fully charged up, that will hinder the task.
I see, yes. You need to look at how you unlock the phone before you start, things like how you access all the menus. I have an example from my own learning. It took me ages to realise that when I look at the mobile website on my phone, that little hamburger symbol means there are more options on a drop-down list.
Exactly. And thank you for that. I actually didn't know it was called a hamburger. I can see that now. But I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw it, I thought there was something wrong with my phone. Then I clicked and realised everything was there. You do learn a lot by practice, but often with technology, you do need some helpful support and explanations. And as a teacher, you have to explain clearly and fully, and then ensure that the learner has understood. It can save the learner a lot of time and breaks down the fear of learning new skills. As a teacher, you should never make assumptions.
I don't want us to be too stereotyped in thinking that we can't teach younger people. So have you taught a younger person about using technology, Val? That would be my question to you.
Yes, actually, quite often. A lot of the learning I receive from my colleagues, my son, some self-learning, and some session teaching sessions I've been on as a learner, I have now cascaded that to others and often to young people. And it's been such a great feeling being able to do so. We are all teachers, we just don't realise it. This project is a great opportunity for young people to share their skills whilst also developing their own teaching skills. I myself started teaching as a volunteer before going to university to study.
So we invite you to get involved, take a chance and register your interest. Build your tutoring skills, learn more digital skills and personal branding. These sessions are free. If you have any questions, please leave your comments under this YouTube video. Thank you very much for listening.